She straight up told me when I was a runner, Tiffany, you're worth more. And so like she gave me the confidence I needed to be like, all right, I can do this.
And that's on Finding a Sahara.
We're your hosts, Sahara Embry
and Michaela Bedoyan. From working corporate 9-to-5s to running $1 million companies,
we're bringing you the inside scoop of what it takes to start and scale your business.
We're keeping things real, raw, and unfiltered.
This is the Rise and Refine podcast. Welcome back. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, y'all. We have a very special guest with us. So it's actually pretty funny. We have Tiffany Lewis. Yay.
That's what I say, Lewis.
There's a story behind it.
But we have Tiffany Lewis with us, and it's a very unique situation today because Tiffany has actually known Sahara and I both prior to...
For how long now? Let me think.
7
years for us.
It's 7 years for me too, because it was 21.
Well, then it would be
So
longer
it would be
for us.
8 years, 9 years. Have we really known each other that long?
That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
It sounds really silly, but I go into Facebook sometimes. Like, when did I become friends with them?
Yeah.
It's been 10 years. Okay.
Yeah, but we could get into a story. But to be fair, we probably didn't become friends on Facebook till later on.
That's fair. That is
fair.
fair.
We always said
Yeah.
we did not like each other in the
We did
beginning.
not.
No. Well, I was terrified of her, and I feel like I made myself force myself onto you to be your friend.
I loved it. I welcomed it with open arms.
So I'm the hard one to become friends with. They too instantly got it. But the reason why you're here is for several reasons. But one of the really cool things I told Michaela I want to start doing is we talk a lot about owning a business, but I want to do like some of our episodes where we talk to people within businesses, whether that's running businesses or different positions, to encourage people that they can grow within a business. Or, some people just don't want the risk of owning a business, and that's okay. So we want it to kind of like hear your story. And an interesting fact you don't know, which I'm sure you remember too, but I thought this would be fun to throw in there and shock you with. When I first left somewhere and I was like going to do like my coaching and stuff like years ago, I was going to start a podcast. She was my first guest. I never posted it.
No way.
Yes, way.
Yeah, because I just couldn't commit to the podcast. I never did it. So we've done a podcast together. That's unreleased.
Crazy.
I wonder if I could
feel
find
like you
it.
should release it maybe now. Is it even?
I don't know that'd be relevant to what y'all do right
Really?
now.
No, well, actually, maybe. We did a whole episode on anxiety, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like y'all could really. I mean, that's
I don't
take
even
me
know
out
if
of
I
the
could
mix and
find
release it
I
on
wonder if
Rise and
I
Refine.
could.
That'd be
must
so
have
fun.
I edited it, did everything.
I would be so intrigued to hear.
Yeah. I'll have to
Because
find
y'all
it.
both have insane redemption stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you more
I would be
so.
a totally different person from
Yeah.
then.
You would be.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
different.
completely.
That'd be so cool
Yeah.
to just listen back on and see how far you've come to.
Yeah, I'll try to
be
find
like,
it and send you
cheers.
clips.
Yeah.
I'll try to find it. I'm pretty sure I have it saved somewhere. I'll have to find it. But Tiffany, I want to like dive into because we know who you are. So you're
Yeah.
gonna have to pretend like we don't know.
Okay.
Because you're gonna tell people. But the whole concept of this episode and what we'll dive into is how you, and I hate to say it this way, so I hope it doesn't offend you, but I don't think I could offend you, is that you started truly from like at a company as the bottom, as like, I think that position was the lowest paid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, lowest paid, and to now you're going to be the director of property management running a whole completely different company.
Yeah.
So in like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
So different.
Yeah,
so
so
dive
different.
into like
Insane.
where you started, the story, the initial beginning, so we can get to like later.
Share as much as you
Started
want to share.
My
Yes.
career.
Yeah.
As
Okay.
much as you want to share.
Yeah.
Okay.
'cause-
I did work before I was a stay-at-home mom, but of course I wanted that time with my kids because you don't get that time back.
no.
Right.
And I was blessed to be able to actually have that time. But then as your kids get older, they have to go to school and you have to make really hard decisions. And it's like, do I want them to go to public school? Do I want to homeschool? And then I was like, my God, I don't want to homeschool. I'm not made to be a teacher at all. I love my children, but I am not a teacher.
Yeah.
And then we had a private school option. And so we kind of went through the budget and kind of saw like, hey, how can we make this happen? Come to find out, my friend Nicole actually worked for a brokerage, and she said, hey, we have a position available. It's part-time. You would be able to take your kids to school. You'd be able to pick them up from school. It's very flexible. And maybe that would be like exactly what you need. So
To make money for your kids' private school. That's why
correct.
you did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was really the only reason why I went back into the workforce.
Yeah.
I really, that came at the perfect time. And it actually worked out. It did actually pay for private school, even being part-time.
Wow.
So I was able to do that for, my gosh, I can't even remember how many years I did runner. It was probably two.
Yeah.
2
But dive
years.
into what a runner is, because I feel like it's so much physical labor. It's
Sure.
a very hard job.
It's a very physically demanding job. I was in
Yeah.
the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
I had to put out, I don't know how much people know about real estate signs, but essentially like there's a metal post and it weighs 5 to 10 pounds. And then you got a sign. And I was putting out 50 signs every single Friday
Holy
for
cow.
open houses. And so I'm having to lift and tote. And like we live in the South. So of course it was a drought in the summer. So I had really good upper body strength hammering the signs in on top of putting my life at risk because I had to pull over on the side of the highway during rush hour. It was really funny. I actually had a van that had like little siren lights.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was for my safety. You know,
Right.
It's fine, comedic relief. But it was very physically taxing in that aspect. You know, I did other things. I also did like inspections on homes when they were vacant to make sure there weren't any like squatters or like there wasn't a pipe that had busted or something like that. So I also did that as well.
But basically running around everywhere, doing
yes.
errands. And
I was everybody's basically gopher.
Yeah.
If they told me to do something, I did it. You know, if I had questions about something, I could ask. But for the most part, it was literally like, hey, I need this done. It said to do list every single day.
Right.
And, just because we try to be very raw about stuff, how much were you making?
I want to say I started at $15 an hour.
Yeah.
Of course, that did increase over time.
Yeah. But like
yeah,
that
I'm
was
pretty sure
where
that's
you
where I started.
started getting back into the work field.
Yep.
And everything. So, okay, you were runner and then your second position, still same company.
My second position came because of a work-related injury. I was out of commission for about 3 months. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I was very, very grateful for this opportunity. I really do not regret like everything I've experienced.
Yeah.
But I had to come back and my husband had actually lost his job. So I couldn't do part-time anymore. I needed to find full-time work and I needed to be able to financially support my family.
Yeah.
So I had to have a hard conversation with my boss, very receptive, very understanding. And we created this whole department called the client care department. It was basically me contacting cold clients like that hadn't been reached in like 5 years, 10 years, however long.
Yeah.
And I would just call them out of the blue and be like, hey, I'm your best friend.
Yeah. You're really good
Love
at
to talk
doing
to you.
that. You're really good.
And then I helped develop the client care department so much so that people were really excited sometimes when I would call. Because I would
Right.
ask about like, hey, how is it going in your new house?
Yeah.
Like, are you looking to purchase right now?
Well, and you knew their family, you knew their kids.
Yes.
Like you kept
Yes.
record of any important engagements that they had or celebrations, and so you always
You're
were
building relationships.
Yeah.
Building relationships is
You're a natural at it.
well, it's something I love to do, and
Yeah.
I'm also a believer, you know, in Jesus, and that's kind of what we're called to do, right? Is
Yeah.
make
Right.
connections with people.
Exactly.
So I just wanted to put that in my workplace.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it, and it was anything like I said, from cold calling to actually client events. Client events it took a lot. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say out of me. It was
Yeah.
very you had
Yeah.
to be on, right?
It
Like,
is
you had
very
to-
demanding.
Yeah.
It was, and
Yeah.
I know you were a part
Because
of
I ended
that.
up working them with you. Yeah.
Yes. She would basically like create the event and organize it, and here I was like the face of like. I love everyone.
Yeah.
So excited you're here.
Such the opposite of what you do now.
Yes, very
So
opposite.
what gave you, because a lot of people, I feel like they don't really rise up in their careers because they're too nervous to have conversations with like their boss about what
Sure.
they want. What gave you like that confidence, and what was that moment other than the necessity of needing to work full time? Like, how did you approach that conversation?
With my current then
Mhm.
boss.
Like, just say, I don't want to be part-time. I want a like actual salary position job. I want to grow.
At the time, I'm going to be honest with you, I had a really great relationship with my boss to the point
Yeah.
of he felt very approachable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it wasn't scary for me to ask
Yeah.
him. It was very
Yeah.
much like a, hey, this is what I need. I know that there's not a position available right now for me.
Mhm.
Is there something I can do for you? Is there something? And
Yeah.
it was very much, I think, my willingness to say whatever,
Right. Yeah.
whatever you
Yeah.
need. And it was, we just kind of brainstormed, and he had already been thinking about the client care situation, how to make it better.
Yeah.
Because a lot of employees don't like that.
Yeah.
I have to call a stranger. What do I say?
Yeah.
How do I connect with them?
Yeah.
If somebody asked me for my birthday, would I be like, willingly, here's my birthday. What do you need it for? You know, like
Yeah.
Right.
that was really hard to get over. And I was just good on the phone. So we developed that just through having a conversation.
Mhm. Yeah. And you did client care for how long?
I was there at that company for 5 years. So if I did runner for 2, it's client care for probably about 3.
Okay.
3 years.
Yeah.
And you just stayed in client care, right?
After runner, yes, I stayed in client
Yeah.
care. I did have some varying positions. That department kind of changed periodically.
Yeah.
I was over a couple of team members, and then
Mhm.
just things had kind of happened, so we didn't have team members anymore. So it was just me, and then you weren't technically client care, but
No.
we worked together in marketing,
Right.
you know, because
Event prep, all of
yes,
that.
all of
Yes,
that.
all that.
And then I was there until I left.
Yeah.
So you left and then you went into a complete opposite field selling
Kinda.
jewelry. It was still customer service,
Yeah,
but
it was
it
customer
wasn't real
service.
estate, it was jewelry. So talk about that.
Yeah, so I actually loved that job.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I got
Yeah.
a lot of pretty things, you know,
Yeah.
and I got to work with pretty things and pretty
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It was very physically demanding only because, you know, I had that injury at
Yeah.
the other position. And so I
Yeah.
had back surgery and things like that. And I had to be on my feet all day.
Mm.
There was a dress code. It was very professional, you know, so I had to look really nice. That was really physically taxing for me. Great opportunity. Learned so much there when it
Yeah.
comes to people and like sales and things like that. And I know sales kind of puts a bad taste in people's mouths of like, oh, you had to learn sales. What does
Yeah.
that mean? Like,
It's such a
Yeah.
good skill
You learn
set
what-
to learn.
Yes.
though, and to be in. I think everyone should be in sales at one point in their
Yeah.
life.
Well, technically everybody is. I mean,
True,
you
that's a
sell
good way to
yourself
look
to
at it.
Yeah.
friends, you
Yeah.
sell yourself to, you know, employers.
Yeah,
like,
that's
I mean,
true. Yeah.
But I really did learn a whole lot. And it wasn't scripting necessarily, even though I did have to learn some scripts when it came to like, how do you welcome somebody in? It's
Yeah.
not just like, hey, welcome to Osborne's. Like, that's just your stereotypical whatever. But it's
Right.
like connecting with
Yeah.
them. Hey, how's your day going? You know,
Yeah.
what are you
Yeah.
coming in for? We have some really pretty whatevers over here. And I wasn't ever a pushy salesperson. I am
Yeah.
very much like, I want it to be organic. I want it to be, hey, I'm not gonna
Relationship
put-
building.
Yes,
Yeah.
relationship building. So I was able to pull
Yeah.
client care into that. And it was wonderful. She was a great boss. She provided like health insurance and all that. And it was across the street from my kid's school. So at the
perfect,
time,
yeah.
that was like the perfect position for me.
That's what you needed. And it
Yes.
gave you a lot of great skill set and worked on you as a person.
Yes.
Now, you don't have to go into much detail, whatever you want to do, but at the time you were working at jewelry store, it was the same time you were going through a divorce.
Correct. Yep.
Right. And so you're going through at what point were you going through a divorce? The beginning of starting that job, the end, the middle?
I was separated from my husband when I started that job. I was very much, I'm going to do everything I possibly can.
Yeah.
Save your marriage.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I want to come out of this one way or the other saying that I gave my all. I gave my 100%. And
Yeah.
I feel confident that I did.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
As people who watched you go through it all,
Yeah.
we can confirm you gave it
that you
100%.
gave, it was like 120%.
Yeah.
The hardest
Seriously.
time of my life, but I have learned through my raising, and I am my father's child to the
Yeah.
point of like, I'm very stubborn. I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure I take care of my family.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, there
Yeah.
are times when I shut down, but overall I survived, right? Like I did
Yeah.
what I had to do. So yeah, I was separated from him when I started at Osborne's, and then I got my own place and everything, you know, really built it up, and I created a whole life for me and the kids. And,
Yeah.
You're
doing
unlocking
that-
so many memories.
I know.
it
Like
was
I
rough.
remember
cow.
your first townhouse that you
Yes.
were in.
Yeah.
Like then you
Love
lived
that
in your
place.
family.
The house.
Like you're unlocking so many memories.
His
I know.
first house that you bought.
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
It went from I was living with my best friend for like 3 months or so. And it was
Yeah.
very tight quarters, but she also had 2 boys. So it was really great for my boys to kind of have
Yeah.
that. And it helped the transition of like.
So I don't
not
know if
being
we've
a
said
daddy.
this, but you have 2 boys.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I
Yes.
do have 2 boys.
Yes.
Loves of my life. Absolutely adore them. I moved from there to a duplex, paid for it by myself, you know, did everything, had separate bank accounts at that point. And then left there because my grandmother had passed away and they didn't want to sell the house. So they're like, hey, do you want to live here? Like really, really cheap rent and just take care of the
Yeah.
house. So I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
But then I was presented the opportunity by the grace of God to buy my own house, and Christina actually was a really big help with that. And
Yeah.
I still live there now, and I absolutely
You bought your
love
house
it.
after you started working for me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll jump back
Okay,
a little
we'll-
bit
we'll go
because there's a lot we want to dive into
Yes.
as you working for me. So
Yes.
you were working at the jewelry store for
A year almost to the day.
yeah, and you were completely divorced before you started working
Yes.
for me, right?
When I worked at Osborne's, I was going through the separation, went through the decision of like, hey, I've got to this. Literally, God was like, okay,
No,
you've done
this is
everything
not
you
it.
can. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, you're done.
Yeah.
Filed for divorce, went through the divorce, finalized in September, like the end of September sometime.
I reached out March the next year, I think.
Yes.
Which
and I
w-
started like April.
Yeah. So we had been friends this whole time.
Yeah, the entire time.
Like the whole time, like walking her through the divorce. I mean, you have PTSD. Can I say I have a little? Like I saw some hard
experienced
things.
a lot. Like
I'm sure.
Yes,
it
I'm
was very
sure.
hard for her. It was very
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Well, it is hard when you see people going through something and you just know they're just how do you like in an intense
You deserve
depressive
so much better
episode.
too.
Well, yeah. Well, that was the first part. It's like me and Lauren were like, make the decision. Like we cannot help you. You have got to make the decision.
Yeah.
We could not help. But so going from getting somebody do it to them finally doing it to then and them seeing it for themselves to then seeing them in such a dark place and you can't do anything to help and you're just
Yeah.
like that was hard. But I'm glad. I mean, like to think about where you are to now. So much has changed.
It's so different.
So
To be clear, we're talking like fetal position in the bed, unable to speak, like deep, dark, like low.
Yeah. I just remember walking into Lauren's house and it was so dark. And then she opened up the room where you were staying and Tiffany was just like in the bed with all the lights turned off. And I was like, Lauren, we need to talk. She goes, Lauren was like, I just don't know what to do. She's like this all day, every day.
But
you were mourning. You were in mourning.
That's exactly what I was doing. And it's so hard to explain. Like, this could be a whole other
Yeah.
episode. But it's so hard to explain grieving somebody who's alive, but them also being a stranger.
Yeah.
So you're grieving something that you had or thought you had, and then it just disappears.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not tangible anymore.
Yeah. You got divorced and then I called you up. We had been friends, but I think I just called you and said like, hey,
yes,
I started a property management company. I don't want to basically do the day to day. Like we're looking to hire someone. And I haven't gotten to ask you some of these questions. So I told Michaela I was really excited to ask you some of these. She's like, oh shit.
Well, can we pause for a second?
Yes.
When you decided to leave where you were before, she basically told me like, hey, I'm going to build something.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how long that's going to take. I can't tell you exactly what it's going to look like, but I would love for you to work for me one day. And I'm like, absolutely, whatever. I'll kill time.
She said the same thing to me.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what she was even talking about.
Yeah, you're like,
so she had visions for both of our lives and we didn't even know about it.
Yes. And do you know that the only reason why I even thought that I would be worth doing the client care for the other place is because she straight up told me when I was a runner, Tiffany, you're worth more. You have so much more talent than just being a runner. Like, you're not just a runner.
Yeah.
You have so much to give. And so, like, she gave me the confidence I needed to be like, all right, I can do this.
And that's on Finding a Sahara.
Y'all are sweet. Y'all are sweet. I think it's just like I just saw so much potential.
Yeah.
And it's nice to know that you see your potential now too. And you can own confidence in it.
Sometimes.
No, you do. You do. But okay, so I called you up. What was your first initial thought when I called you? Was like, okay, this is what I've got. Do you want to do it? Because it was probably, property management is probably not something you never thought of before, right?
I guess not. I mean, I had played around with real estate in my head, because I fell in love with real estate where I worked. I really loved the people. I really enjoyed seeing like what they were doing. Could not really fathom having like a sales job because you never knew what you were going to bring in every month.
And you needed that stability.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like having boys and like you're the only income. You're like,
all the sports and all of the activities that come with it. Yeah.
Things. I think when you called me, I was basically like, ding, 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 ding. She's reached her goal. It's now time for me to do something new with Sahara.
Yeah.
I didn't really question it. I just kind of like, I need a career. Maybe this is a good career.
Yeah.
I even consulted other property managers before I took the job.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like,
okay.
Well, I think I told you to call someone specific. Yeah. I know who you called. And I was like, call these people.
She'd been doing it for years, and we had worked with her at the other place as well. And so I literally picked her brain about everything. And I am not going to lie to you. Every single one I talked to said, don't do it.
Yeah.
Really?
Every single one.
Well, because property management companies historically are not set up the way Venture Haven is set up.
It's a very
different.
It's very taxing. It's a thankless job, if we're being honest, because people constantly see you as like the fixer. So you've got to fix everything, and exactly when they think that you need to fix it.
Yeah.
So they were basically like, don't do it. It's high stress. Like, it's going to kill you. But I mean,
they weren't wrong. It is very high stress of a job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like that. There are some things that were definitely true about it. But so I called you up. You're like, okay. But as your friend, the one thing you had to do, because at the time that I started Venture Haven, there was another like part owner in it. So I couldn't just hire you. You had to go through an interview.
I did. Yeah.
What was like your thought process? How did it feel to have like me as a friend now interviewing you? I'm just curious.
To be real, my thought process, because of, I'm not even gonna lie to you, because of the divorce, like, it's changed me so much. Like, I didn't go into it being fearful or intimidated. I came into it of like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer the questions that I need to answer. I still have the people pleasing in me,
right?
So I still kind of like, I want them to like me, but I also am okay if I'm not liked. I'm like, well, that just wasn't the opportunity, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I guess I also didn't really realize who I was speaking to in the interview. Not you. I knew, obviously.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize,
did
like,
it make you uncomfortable?
It didn't. I was talking to the owner of Capstone, where she herself has built Capstone from the ground up.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking to her son, who is going to take over. That didn't register to me. I was just talking to people.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I went into that interview, you. I was just kind of myself.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what I love about it too. But people always ask me, and I think they used to ask it to me more and probably you, but it's like, well, a lot of people say it's don't ever hire friends. You know, y'all are friends. Like, what if she doesn't do a good job? Like, they had to talk to me about the worst case scenarios. It's like, well, what if you have to fire her? You can say goodbye to that relationship. Like, you know, they were just like they were telling you all the other sides. So it was, how do you think, like, for us, it was working, like, if somebody has an opportunity to work for their friend as the employee and their friend's the boss, what advice would you give them?
That's going to be tough.
I
And
know.
I say that because mine and Sahara's relationship is so unique.
Right.
That I don't know that a lot of people are going to be able to find that. So I can't say there's like a formula for everyone.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, your and my personalities are completely different. Now, I have changed a little bit. I'm not just always bubbly. I can be like,
yeah, you definitely changed, but in the best way.
yes,
Direct.
yes. Which I've learned for her, it's easy for her too, because if I'm direct, then she can move on to the next task.
Exactly.
Right? You need to be able to adapt. You also need to, I don't want to ever use the word thick skin, because I don't think that thick skin is necessarily a good thing. I still think that you need to hear things, you need to receive things, you need to feel things. But you and I have always somehow been able to compartmentalize. Like when we're having a meeting about Venture Haven, it is a professional meeting about Venture Haven.
Yeah.
We strategize, we look at numbers, we do all those things, and we're not talking about personal stuff.
Yeah.
Then on the flip side, I usually will text Sahara and be like, it's friend time.
Yeah, we'll text you. I did that recently. I like, as a friend, here's what I want to say.
Yes. And
we
honestly,
separate it.
we've gotten into some heated discussions, but at the end of it, we both come out of it like, it can either be we have to agree to disagree, or okay, we've come to a resolution.
Yeah.
It's not ever just, you know, my gosh, I hate Sahara because she got mad at me.
Right.
You know, and she listens to me now, which I think it was harder for her before. I think I have earned her respect in like my opinion, you know, and things like that. And that took time, I feel like, because I had to
think
get more
that takes time with anybody too.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to earn people's respect for it.
Yeah, but you don't just shut me down always. Now, there are times when I know that you're very like, this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I have to accept that. This is her company. This is what she wants to do. And if you have that mindset of like, hey, if she's asking me to do this, this is her company, as long as we're not like breaking laws.
Right.
Like, I need to do what she's asking me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to come to that realization.
Yeah.
And there are times when like, I had told you this before.
Yeah.
I used to get upset when she would give tasks to somebody else. I was like, I can do that. You know, why isn't she like, does she
took it as like, I didn't trust her to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, I very much did.
That's so funny, because whenever she gives tasks to somebody else, I'm like, thank God. I can't.
I had to get to that point though.
Yeah.
Because she saw the vision that she wanted for the company, right? And I had to get on board.
Yeah.
And it was like, I had to change my mindset. I was like, I can't do everything.
Yeah.
There's no way I could do everything. And I tried for a year to do everything on my own.
Right.
And I almost burnt out to the point of, I told her I was about to quit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was way too much.
Yeah.
And so now I've realized that other people are better at things than I am. And that's okay. Like, let them handle that task. Let me handle the things that I'm good at.
Right.
And then that'll make the company more successful.
But because of also your past and what you had to work through and grow through, it's hard to ask for help.
Oh,
and you had to, because you got so used to doing everything by yourself, for yourself.
Yeah.
And so I can only imagine how hard that was.
I think any of us within, when we all at one point have worked for somebody. I think when you work for somebody, you want to feel honored and like they respect you so much, and like they could throw anything at you and that you could handle anything and you're the shining star. Like, that's a good feeling. Like, let's be honest. There's a lot of people who feel that way. So then when your boss is giving tasks to somebody else, I felt like that before. It's like, well, why am I not good enough to where you don't think I can handle that?
Right.
You know? And I think if you have a really good boss who respects you, think about, okay, what's the reason they're doing that? It's like, maybe they do see I'm overwhelmed and they're trying to help me learn how to delegate, right? Because we go from just you and me running the company to, okay, we're going to hire someone else. But you have to, I hate to say it, but you have to cut away the jealousy, feelings. Like, you have to cut away the feelings of, are they going to be better than me? Are they going to do something better than me? And you had to learn, just like I had to learn, in order to grow a business, I needed help. You had to say, okay, you know what? Let me give this to them because they are better and it does help me and it helps my life. And I
Right.
want them to be better than me now. Like I want people to be better. I tell my marketing girls that. That's why I test them so much. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want you to be better than me when it comes to getting these things
Absolutely.
done.
Yeah.
That's what I need you to do because that's what I care about.
Well, and taking things too off of your plate or anybody's plate in
Yeah.
that matter could also free you up for an opportunity that she sees that you don't see yet. And so I
Absolutely.
think that there's so many different facets to it. But I mean,
Yeah.
as overachievers and as perfectionists, I feel like we can all kind of say it's
People pleasers.
it's it's
You
difficult.
are not a people pleaser.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Used to be.
I don't think me and you are anymore. I think you're still teetering.
I'm teetering. I'm a
You're
recovering
teetering.
people pleaser
Yeah.
and a recovering perfectionist.
Yes.
I understand, and I hope that you do not have to go through anything dark to get over it. I had to.
Yeah.
Well, I did have to there for a period of time.
That's fair.
So
About that time.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
we all are. But yeah, you were extreme.
I was an
people
extreme
pleaser.
people-
Throw
I-
anything at you, you were like, I got you.
Yes.
Okay, so now you're like you've been at Venture Haven, gosh, now for 3 years,
Yeah.
right? Pretty much
Over
there
3
since
years.
yeah.
It's been almost. Let's see. We started in
March, it'll be 4 years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
This coming March 2026, it'll be 4 years.
Mhm.
So you started from like when we had like less than 10
5
property, yeah,
properties.
5 properties to now 300.
Yeah.
So talk about like the growth within a company because like starting it, like being there from day one to seeing growth, adjusting. We now have way more team members, way more growth, like the journey within.
How real do y'all want me to be?
Super
about
real.
This?
Rip
You
off the
can be
Band-Aid,
real.
So
sister.
this isn't like it needs to be positive. And we
No.
need to sell
No.
somebody on
No.
wanting to do this.
No.
You can be real.
Okay, so I start with Sahara in April of
Yes.
2022.
1 month after I started the company.
2022, yes. Sarah basically was like, I tried to do this.
I don't have time
Don't
to
want to do this.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So
Yeah.
I come on. No training, keep in mind. Have no
Mhm.
training.
Yeah.
Do not have my real estate license. You
Yep.
know, I'm like, but I've got to have a real estate license in the state of Alabama. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to be taking classes and working full time.
Oh, I forgot
and being a
about
single
the
mom.
license.
And yes.
Mhm.
It was a lot. So I was like, I really enjoy learning. So I was kind of like, cool, I'll do the licensing. Now, the way Sahara approaches learning about your license is a little different than the way I wanted to do it. She was very much like, Tiffany, you've been in real estate for like 5 years. You know most of this better than anybody else. Just click. Take the quizzes, click, then study, then take your test.
Yeah.
And I was
yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. Click, click, click.
So I'm not going to lie, I did take her advice.
Sorry.
I passed the online exam.
Oh my gosh.
But the state exam is completely different than your course exam.
Oh shoot.
Completely different. And so you're doing this online now. Like you could do it in person, but who has
Yeah.
the time to do that anymore? And if you do, more power to you because I know that being
Yeah.
in person is really helpful for some people.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find any resources to study for like the state exam. And so like I basically went in just hoping on a whim I could pass. Did not pass my first one. A little discouraged, but I was also kind of like, I know lots of people who didn't pass their first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sahara.
5
okay.
times.
There you go. Okay, so that's better.
Yes.
Second time, didn't pass it. Even more discouraged because I was like, what the crap is going on? Like,
Yeah.
why can I not get this? Like,
Yeah.
how can I not make a 70 on this? And it was the second time, by the way, was totally a 69. And to pass is a 70. I was so mad.
I would have been livid.
I was so mad. Anyways, third time, after studying a little bit more and kind of diving into stuff, because they don't really explain things to you well when it comes to like what the exams really entail.
Yeah.
I passed it the third time. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm sure your
Finally
imposter
passed it.
syndrome was really acting up
It was
during.
rough. I was
Yeah.
like, am I not smart?
I just knew you were questioning yourself, and I'm like, I tell everyone that exam is so hard. Like, yes,
Alabama is
click,
like
but
one of the hardest states to
it's
pass
so
in.
it's hard.
It may be.
But I think it's hard depending on your personality. I am a terrible test taker, very
yeah.
smart, but I was never school like book smart.
Yeah.
Everyone's smart in their own ways. I was not good at taking tests at all.
That's how I am.
So
I don't know about you, but I haven't really used a whole lot of what I've learned in the exams in my day to day when it comes to being a property manager.
no, that's why I was telling you also just click because like it doesn't teach you anything about property management.
No,
Like-
it's a very small section. And man,
No.
I aced the property management stuff. It was
Oh, I
like,
bet.
you don't have to work on that stuff, but
Yeah.
you have to work on all this stuff that you're not going to use. Okay.
Yeah, pretty
Period.
much. So you
Love
pass
that.
your test.
Yep, I passed my
And
test.
now you're working in a company where we're just basically every day on the fly figuring out
Yes.
situations as they come. Like we would just talk and be like, how do we do this? How do we figure this out?
Girl, it would have been your worst nightmare.
Oh, I'm sure.
Unless
I would
you
have
were
gone
like,
bonkers.
so here's how it goes. I start the job. Here's a computer. You're in an office with all these girls that work for Embry Group who know nothing about property management. However, one of them is trying to help me. So she is going to kind of train you on how to do this stuff. Come to find out, and you'll appreciate this, she didn't really know what she was doing either. So like when I got trained on the MLS on like how to put things like up for a rent or whatever, my training was very minimal. It was like, here, go onto this page, copy this and paste, copy this and paste.
There was no training.
There was no training. I was given a software. No training at the time. Just figure it out. We got to figure out how to put in properties. We have to figure out how to pay owners. We have to figure out how to.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing. So all day long, while I'm also trying to build our clientele as well, right? Taking investor calls and all that, I'm trying to figure all this other stuff out. It was extremely hard. So for a year,
tough times. I remember I'm getting flashbacks. I don't know how neither of us gave up. Like, I'm so happy we didn't because of where it's at now. But I can see why a lot of people in those moments, like every day was a fire we were putting out, another thing that one of us, me, fucked up that we had to fix. It's like every day it was something was going wrong.
Something. But here's the thing. You and I were very determined for some reason.
I don't know why, but we were.
I was very determined. It was like, you and I had conversations in the past about how I'd made my job my identity.
Yeah.
I was struggling with that. And I still struggle with that because Venture Haven to me is my baby even though you own it.
Yeah.
Like Venture Haven is still my baby, even though she owns it.
Yeah.
So that may be why, but I was also trying not to like, I am not my job.
Yeah.
Like, I am also a mother. I am also an individual. I'm also this, But we built the company so quickly. And Sahara wasn't really getting the support she needed from the partners of the company. And I think that was probably more of a lack of communication. If they didn't really want to be involved, they kind of wanted to be silent partners.
Yeah.
You know?
Whereas I was like, well, if we're 50-50, I'm not silent. That's not fair.
Right.
So that was when we bought them out in a good way. It was a good thing for both parties.
It was good on everybody's part because we have a good relationship with them even to this day.
Well, I think buying them out too helped both of us just feel even stronger about the company. It's like, okay, now it's truly mine, and I feel 100% in all I know the work we're putting in is going to pay off. I feel 100% about it.
Well, and you can actually make all the decisions without having to run everything by them, too.
Yeah, because I'm the one in it every day anyways. I mean, I was so involved in that beginning.
She was very involved.
We both were. It was like every day working on something.
Yeah.
And figuring it out because we didn't really, I think we had Sarah on like speed dial, our lawyer. She helped us a lot, property management lawyer.
That was another thing though that overwhelmed me a lot is people have to realize like there are laws that we have to follow. Like it's not just willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not paying your rent, get out.
Right.
Like there's a process to it. Like there's a legal process to it.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, my HVAC isn't working. I need you to fix it. Well, because you tell me it needs to be fixed doesn't mean it's going to happen that day.
Yeah.
Like we have a legal timeline to be able to do that. We also have to get a vendor out there because our business model, I've learned recently, is nothing like any other property management company.
Yeah.
We don't have like an on-site maintenance staff person that we could just be like, hey, please go out there and check on it. Like we're having to contact third-party vendors. So we've had to also, on top of all that, create relationships with vendors as well and good relationships.
Yeah.
And go through the bad vendors and like weed them out. So it was very tedious. It was very like work heavy.
Yeah.
At one point she got so successful with Embry Group that it was very much all on my shoulders. I was determined to keep it running. I didn't really know where it was going to go. I didn't know how successful it was going to be, but it was like, I've got to do this, to the point where I had told you that we had an issue with our bookkeeping.
Yes.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh God. We could do a whole episode on accounting and the mistakes to not
That
make
was right around when I quit my corporate job.
Probably,
and we were in the midst of starting Refined.
Yeah, I don't
full time.
remember.
I don't know how you did that, but anyways.
I'm an insane person. We all know this about me. I don't remember, but I just remember, you were was that before we hired Kelsey or when we hired?
We started recognizing that there was an issue before Kelsey. I had recognized something. Back up a little bit. I was not involved in the accounting at all at that time. Like I was not doing the accounting. I wasn't like, I did try to keep up with our expenses.
We did have an accountant, which is the smart thing to do.
Absolutely.
It's just they didn't know anything about property management and it just wasn't set up the right way.
Yes. But I started seeing red flags. You
Yeah.
know, I was like, something's wrong. And of course, at the time, Sahara's a business owner, right? She's like, hey, if I get somebody else, that's going to be a whole process. That's going to be more money. That's going to be more time. We can't really do that right now.
Yeah.
So time goes on and it's getting worse. And it's
I
getting
should have
worse,
listened to
and
her.
It's getting worse. And I will never forget the text message I got from you when I was like, Sahara, like, this is a nightmare. Like, this is terrible, because I ended up having to take over owner payments. And so that's something I'd never done before. And I'm having to get advice from the bookkeeper of like, how do I even do this? Because I've never even been on the accounting side of the software. And she was like, you have to go through each individual owner. Now, we didn't have 300 at the time, but we had like 100.
It doesn't matter if we had 5 or 300. It was chaos and not run the right way.
We had to make sure expenses were taken out. We had to make sure management fees were paid. We had to make sure that the owners were paid. How do you pay them? Make sure the amounts were right. So each individual owner I was going through, she texts me and says, I knew this was a problem in the past, but I didn't want to deal with it. I guess I'm going to deal with it now.
Sahara.
Yeah, I really, because what happened was, it was like, y'all think I'm perfect, but I make mistakes too, right? What happened was, Amber Group had like doubled at the same time. Venture Haven goes from one property to 100.
Yeah.
At the exact same time. And I was like, everything just blew up all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I did not want to deal with it. I was like, well, everybody's getting paid. We got money in the account. Like, and it wasn't anything truly like bad. Like, especially now, I think what we've learned from talking to like real estate companies get audited, and we had a great auditor who like helped us tell us how we're doing. Like, what we've learned now is that we were actually probably not the worst property management company. Like, we definitely were still doing it okay. It was just like constantly like an issue, like this best way to explain it, right?
Yeah.
We've also learned, Sarah probably already knew this, but like, I didn't realize, and this is gonna judge me if you want to, I didn't know that bookkeeping and accounting were different. I had no idea that they were different.
I don't think I know that they were different.
We've learned
a
lot.
A lot. Bookkeeping, you don't have to be licensed to do. Like, I could do bookkeeping as long as I'm organized and I put things where they need to be and I itemize them where they need
It's
to be.
like data entry is the best way to explain it.
Yes.
Data entry.
So the bookkeeping was one of our biggest problems. It was like, where did this need to go? What account did this need to go in? Was this assigned to the right? We call them GL accounts, but it's like, is this rent income? Is this a management fee? Is this a repair?
Journal entry.
Is this a company expense? Is this? So bookkeeping is separate. And then accounting is different. So then we hired a bookkeeping company.
Yes.
And then we learned again through the process that they're not accountants, so they can't file 1099s. So then we had to hire an accountant as well as a bookkeeping company. And so like through this process, it's just you continue to learn and grow.
Yeah.
And you make mistakes.
But you have to address them, fix it. We spent countless hours fixing it. And
no, I remember that because you called me. It was very early on a Monday, and you were like, or maybe it was even Sunday night, but you called me and you were like, I am not available this week. I have to take care of this accounting issue. And so basically I'll talk to you next week.
Yeah. She was like,
don't bother me.
We literally closed
I sat
the door.
there 24/7.
Yes. We were
went there.
in the
We
office.
fixed it ourselves.
We fixed it ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we did have the help, of course, of the bookkeeping people to clean up the database. Because like we were doing things like on our end physically, like physical, fixing.
Yeah.
They were helping like the reports.
Right.
Like, let's make the reports match what y'all done.
Right.
And now we don't have that problem anymore, which is great.
But I still, to this day, if I had to put a number on it, I think it probably cost me like $50,000 to $70,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It was probably the biggest mistake I ever made. No, I want to just clarify. There's nothing legal or anything. No, it was just when your numbers and your ROI are not in line and you're not tracking things the right way and your numbers are confused, you can't make proper decisions.
Yeah.
And then you have to pay to get everything organized and fixed. And accounting and numbers, it's the last thing any business owner wants to do. We want to grow the business. We want to focus on social media and marketing and growing it. But when you grow so fast, one of the best things you can actually do is make sure you hire the right people and get accounting in place and get it all organized. And that was a lesson. And now it's beautiful.
It is really beautiful.
It's very expensive now, but it's very beautiful.
When she has a question, I now know where to go.
Right.
And I can get her an answer pretty much the same day. It's not like 6 months of digging into what is this.
Gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it's a
been
lot
really
faster.
nice.
But it probably took a whole year, I would say,
it took a whole
before
year.
it felt good.
Keep in mind, we didn't mention this. We changed software
At the same time
at the
this was
same
going.
exact time this was happening.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
So we had to upload information from our first software up to the new software, and those numbers weren't right.
Right. So
And
you're
so-
uploading all mismatched information to the
Correct.
new database.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
was a
tried
fun
to go
time.
back into the old software and be like, can we pull reports still somehow? Like, do they have like an archive?
Yeah.
Did not have an archive at all whatsoever. So like
Oh
we're
my
talking like going
gosh.
through receipts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we went through every line by line, itemized. Oh God,
Oh,
it was yeah,
gosh.
it was a lot of late nights, fun things, and
Yeah.
learning as we go. But it is important. I think people like just don't want to talk about accounting, but I'm like, accounting is so important. Accounting can actually make you so much money too, because you can see your bottom line, you can see where things are at, you can make better decisions for your business,
Right.
and be able to grow it and scale it in a more efficient way based on numbers. And that's something that shouldn't be overlooked.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to do it.
Well, I
Right.
feel like it's made us more profitable now that we have
Oh,
everything in line, because it's like,
100%.
where are we spending our money?
Yeah.
Where are we spending
100%.
most of it? And where can
Yeah.
we make cuts if we need to,
Right.
because like we're actually about to hire another person. Like we need to
Yeah.
make sure we've got the money there to be able to afford a salary.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. So, okay, we're at almost 300. We've now got basically
Well, hold
four.
on.
Yeah.
Let me touch on that because
Absolutely.
you're talking about adding another person. You already have 3. Is it 3?
3.5, I'll say,
3.5.
because Sahara's brother helps us, but he usually
that's
helps us
true.
whenever we need like, backup.
Yeah.
That's true. So, what was it like for you in building respect and trust with those team members without having the title of like CEO?
I-
Or did that come naturally?
That's a really good question. I think that the hiring process that we have in place is really important
Mhm.
because yes, sometimes we feel desperate to
Mhm.
have somebody,
Yeah.
but we don't compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things of like, hey, can I hold on a little longer and suffer through like what I'm doing to get the right
Right.
person in place? Thankfully, Kelsey came along, and Kelsey is like the yin to my yang.
Yeah. Yeah.
they
she
literally
is.
are. Yeah, they are
She
amazing together.
Is phenomenal at organizing, phenomenal at processing. She's even really great talking to the investors, because most investors are very like numbers analytical,
Right.
she
She's
just
very
can
good
speak
about that.
investor language.
Yes, she speaks investor language very
Yeah.
well. She also has a background in real estate. So she already had a real
Oh,
estate license, which is
nice.
really great. She's done like fix and flips as well.
Okay.
So she knows like
Yeah.
terminologies and like contractor
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
We have a really great contractor that we all have in common, and he laughed because he was like, I really miss talking to you, but I understand Kelsey a little bit better than I do you. Because I was like, the thing that's
Yeah.
like in front of the roof, and I don't know what it's called, but it's like rotting away. Like, is that normal?
Are you talking about Lewis?
Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
Sometimes I call him and I feel so bad because me and Trevor are not handy, and I'm sure he just laughs at me.
Oh, yeah,
The
I'm
other
sure he
night I
does.
called him and said, "There's a water dot on my ceiling." He goes, "Send me a picture and a video. I'll be there tomorrow."
Yeah.
I call him I'm like, "Can you just like stay on my payroll?" Like literally, like I call
Love
him
him.
for every inconvenience.
Yes, I love him to death. He is so precious. Love him to death.
Yes.
But yes, it was very much like I didn't know how to speak like property language.
Right.
Like, what's fascia? Do
Yeah.
most people know what fascia
Yeah.
is? I do now. Didn't know then.
Yeah.
But sweet Kelsey did. So she was
Yeah.
able to communicate a little bit better.
Yeah.
Julia came along. She is our assistant property manager. It took a time for that.
How
one.
long? Like 4 months?
It was, we took
we
several months.
could not
Oh,
make
wow.
a decision
Um,
in the best way because we were so. I think we were so nervous too,
Mhm.
right? Would you say what?
Because it was so easy
apprehensive?
for you and Kelsey, or
Yes, well, that was kind of the thing. Like, Sahara was like, do we want another Kelsey, or like, do we want another
Mm.
Tiffany, or we want somebody totally different, right?
Yeah.
Well,
How do
and
we
how
make
is
this
that
work?
third person going to fit in? Because right now, I think me, you, and Kelsey, we spent so much time getting things so good. Finally, and
Yeah.
it was at such a good place, and we're like, someone going to come in and ruin this. Like, seriously, that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Yeah, well,
I
I mean,
was
that's
like, are they
always
going to
an
mess
valid,
it all
though.
up? Like, we spent so much time. How are they going to just fit in with the company now after we all spent literally like blood, sweat, and tears and like countless hours? I could not ask for 2 better employees to help me with everything growing it. Like, what's that gonna look like?
Yeah, well, the bad part about it is I was coming up on vacation. And like, I don't take a whole lot of like actual vacation, but I had
Right.
planned a vacation like a long time in
Yeah.
advance, and it was
Yeah.
coming up. And poor Kelsey was like, "Oh my God, you're gonna be gone, and I have to have your workload, and we don't have help yet." And I was like, "Yeah, but if we hire somebody, then you're gonna be training them as well as all that. So I feel like it's
Right.
better
Bad
if we don't hire."
timing.
Like it was a whole thing. Like we very much,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
we were talking as we were talking, our shoulders were going up. We're like, "It's gonna be okay." It's gonna be
Yeah.
okay." But no, we interviewed, and it wasn't that like these people were like bad people or like they
Right.
wouldn't do a good job somewhere else. And I even told a lot of them that like, hey, what we're needing is not something that you would be good at. However, you might be good in this, or somewhere
multiple interviews, multiple conversations.
Yes. We even went so far as to offer somebody a position because she had so much experience, really loved her personality and everything, but her employer made her sign a non-compete.
Oh.
So through all of that,
we were like, found her.
Yes.
Never mind.
Non-compete.
Yes. Very disappointing, right? Because
I feel like you should be upfront with that.
Well,
she didn't know.
She didn't.
Oh, she didn't know.
So like he basically presented her with the information. She was like, hey, I found another job, which I'm not going to go into everything like that. Like, we're like, man, you're getting taken advantage of. Like, it was very much like, you need to get out of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so loved her, kept kind of contacting her. And he would agree to let her go after he hired somebody. And dissolve the non-compete.
Okay, we're going to end it there and actually do a part 2 because we have so much more to talk about. So we're really excited. So next Monday, come back and hear the rest of Tiffany's story.
Yes, but if you like this episode, please like and subscribe to us. You can find us on Apple, Spotify podcasts, or you can watch us here on YouTube. If you want to DM us or have any questions, you can find us over on Instagram and TikTok at Rise and Refine Podcast. Or if you want to check out the brand and web design part of our business, you can see us over on Instagram at Refine Marketing _. We hope you guys have a lovely week and happy Monday.
See you next Monday.